Let's be honest, I think we all knew that was coming. What's going on, Brews? Welcome to Hottest Cards of the Week, the weekly series where every Friday night we review the hottest modern Pokemon cards of the week. This week's episode, I am so blatantly honest with you guys, for better or worse. This week we have a very
spicy episode.
Yeah, we're talking manipulation, pumps, cards that were 6 months ago worth $1.50 selling for $2,000, $2,000 in a PSA 10. But yeah, very, very interesting episode. We're going to get to that interesting stuff right off the bat. Today's episode, and by today's episode, I'm just going to let you guys know, because there's so much pumping and interesting things, I'm recording this video at exactly 12:02 a.m., so it is Saturday, very much morning. Today's episode is brought to you by yesterday's episode and Wednesday's episode. One, I go over Google Trends and prove to you that Pokemon cards are even more popular than in 2016 and in 2021. The other one is just a for funsies video. Please check them out. It is the end of the month. Channel member giveaway will be announced. The video of Alexa over there choosing the winner is like 45 seconds long, so if you're a channel member, I will attach the winner of the monthly channel member giveaway at the end of the video. Alright, let's get to it. His voice makes the darkest day okay. Alright, here we go. Pretty much every intro, there's multiple things I forget to mention. So I just wanted to follow up on last week real quick. Crustal Mania sent me his own Crustal Q. Alright, let's get to it. MZA Stained Glass Birds card. So obviously I've been talking about this for a month straight, and yeah, it's up to $120. I think a lot of us expected this. This is a card that was as low as about 18 or 19 bucks on the 1 year chart, up to $120. There you go. We actually have a lot of interesting stuff. On any normal week, this would be the most interesting probably card to talk about, but no, there's more. So, and by the way, we have lower volume. We did have a 38, on the 17th, so we did have that big volume bar a couple weeks ago, but no recent massive buyouts. It's just all the more expensive listed copies are being purchased, and there was 4 copies purchased in the $145 to $160 price range on TCG Player for MZA. Okay, so you may have heard of this, you may have not. First of all, the first thing I'm going to show you with this Greninja Gold Star from Celebrations is the 1 year chart. Because on December 1st, let's see here, let me show you guys this real quick. On December 1st, this card was still $1.77. And as you can see now, we have it at $26. And in case you're wondering, so on June 26th, we had a $2,000 sale. Yeah. And before that, this was consistently a $400 PSA 10. So 400, 450 is basically about 400 something bucks. $400. I feel so bad for TCA Gaming. He literally just sold this in a CGC 10 for 120 bucks yesterday. And yeah, so it probably would have been worth recracking that and sending it to PSA, because now we're at 2,000 right there, and then 1,400, 1,300, 1,400. There's 1,000 right there, and then 1,400 again. So 2,000, and then we went $400 up to $2,000. Now we're sitting at apparently $1,400 for Greninja Gold Star. And again, Greninja is from on the 1 month. So let's take a look at the 30-day too, because this settled in at $7, $8, $9, and $9, $10, and then $26 with that massive $2,000 PSA 10 sale, followed up by multiple 14. And guess what? That's not it. So this happened today, and by today, you're watching this on Saturday, so I mean yesterday. Yesterday, but kind of for me today, because I haven't gone to bed yet. You're talking 102 items sold on Friday. Big time. How many? We got 20 listings available. This was a full-fledged buyout of Umbreon Gold Star reprint of Celebrations. This card yesterday went from $37 up to $53. It's not the first time people have screwed around with this card. Last year, this card went from $18 up to literally where it's at right now, $54, $55. Then it crashed back down to 38, so it didn't even crash, it held. As you can see there, kind of a Magikarp Paldea Evolved effect. It got pumped and it held most of its pump. And again, here we are, Umbreon Gold Star reprint from Celebrations with 102 sales yesterday, Friday, shooting it up 20 something bucks to $53. I don't even think, oh, and by the way, so I did look at the PSA 10s, and the PSA 10s are still selling for $200 or so dollars. Whole bunch of them selling for $200. And did it jump from 130 to 200? Is that why? This is all June 27th. This is all June 27th. Okay, so 180. Keep going. As you can see, it didn't do an insane $2,000 sale. So at least the PSA 10 is still relatively normal. Alright, let's go to some other stuff. Speaking of crazy PSA 10 sales, last week we talked about Magikarp, the PSA 10 3K sale. Magikarp has now shot way back over $200, so Magikarp is now at $216. So look at the 1 year real quick so I can show you that. High of $276, hit the low recently of $188, and now it's back up to $216. And again, that was with a massive PSA 10 sale recently. We're going to look at a couple Mewtwo's. So Crown Zenith, Galarian Gallery Mewtwo. Look at this. Not only did it hold $100 safely, it had a little bounce. So it just went from $101 up to $107.93. Crown Zenith Mewtwo V-Star. Keep moving along. Another Mewtwo, Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, Destined Rivals. So this, I'm just showing you guys that this is now holding over $400. Came out at 318, shot over 400, and now here we are still holding 400, and to be specific, $402. There you go. Talked about this card a lot. Ancient Origins, Mega Rayquaza EX. Look at that chart. This is now about $400, $398.49. That is the 1 year chart. On the 1 month, we're from $350. We're up $50 on the 30-day chart. Mega Rayquaza EX, Ancient Origins. Beautiful, beautiful card. Here we go. Metal Charizard. So I don't believe this is its all-time high. There was a small window where PSA was originally grading metal cards and then they stopped. And this was 3 years ago. And the PSA 10 Metal Charizard originally sold for $10,000 or so dollars. So I believe the raw copy way back in the day was more than this, but this is a 1 year high. And it is up to $121. And on the 1 month, it is just simply from 116 up to 121. I just wanted to show you guys that it is gradually trending upwards, and that is the Metal Celebrations Charizard from the Celebrations Premium Collection. Okay, also from the exact same box, the Gold Pikachu V. This is also not an all-time high. This card was actually a few years ago worth a little bit more, but it is a 1 year high. And it is up to $40, and that is up from about $35 to $40 on the 30-day chart. Okay, so this gets interesting. This card right here is proof that if you just collect what you love, sometimes you get lucky. It's like 3 years ago, I bought literally, I would say 10 perfect copies, perfect raw copies of this, perfectly centered, perfectly spotless. To this day, I still have all 10 of them pretty much in the exact same spot, and I've just been waiting for a very special day to grade all 10 of them. To the extent, you know, that this is my banner of my YouTube channel. So this is a card that I love that I paid $10, $9 for a couple years ago because I fell in love with it. To the extent I made it my YouTube banner. And yeah, so here we go. And there's more. There's more. It's not just this. So not only is this card from $10, where basically the price I bought all my copies for, up to $42.97. On the 1 month, it is from $34 up to $43. Here's the interesting part. Does anyone see what the interesting part is? 7 listings available. Here's all your listings right here. After this card goes way up in price. Okay, so am I saying that because I own 10 copies? These 10 copies haven't moved in years, and they're probably not going to move for another year or two until I grade a ton of Pikachus all at once. I'm just saying, collect the cards you love, and maybe they'll be worth $43 someday. And yeah, that right there is a 2019 promo. A 2019 modern promo with only 7 remaining listings available on Oh, I feel dirty. That was a dirty laugh. Mimikyus Legendary Treasures Radiant Collection. It's just hit another all-time high. Been talking about this card for 9 months straight. So I hit an all-time high last week or this week of 144, and it is sitting at $140. And no, I'm not going to point to it like I always do. I just pointed to it. All right, now, oh wait. Before we get to a whole bunch of Gengars, we got a Galarian Moltres. Look at this. This card's been messed around with in the past. Let's take a look. Whoa! This card has been egregiously pumped in the past. Just along with everything else. Everything else in February. There you go. But as you can see, it is working its way back up. It's only up 568% on the 1-year chart. No big deal. But it's up 35% on the 30-day chart. And that is the Crown Zenith Galarian Moltres 10. There you go. Promo. Okay, the T-Tar, just want to show you guys. This is the buy our stuff nobody wants T-Tar from Pokemon Center. It is now up even a little bit higher. It's now over $40. I'm not going to lie, I thought this card was going to crash, but there are so many people that saw this card as an opportunity. I know personally 2 people who have large positions in this card, and if I know 2 people randomly, there's probably 100 people that have large positions of this card, which is why this card is still over $40 and growing. It's just T-Tar's lucky day on that one. Pikachu and Zekrom GX Team Up Full Art. It's now a $100 card. There you go. It's up to $107.38. Here's another Zekrom. This one keeps going up, but it went up a lot this week. So black and white full art, black and white base, Zekrom 114. Went up big time. We had 11. That is a lot for this card. 11 sales. That was way back then. Never mind. Sorry, that's a 6-month chart. I'm an idiot. I was gonna say, because look at that. That's what this chart's volume bars, usually look like. So there you go. It's from 100 up to 150. That is a lot. It is up 50% on the 30-day chart. Holy moly. Here's the 1 year. So yeah, it's a $30 card. Now it's a $150 card. It's been a crazy year for Pokemon cards, and we are not even at the 30th anniversary. Again, that is $153.58 for Zekrom 114. Mega Sableye T-Tar, another T-Tar. People are getting sick of me talking about tag teams, so I did my best to only include a couple of tag teams this week. But yeah, there you go. $230, that's a new all-time high. I will show you the 1 year. There's a 1 year chart is up 70% from $130 on the 1 year chart. Now we get to a slew of Gengar and Mimikyus. Gengar and Mimikyu, this combo is for the wealthy. This is the wealthy combo now. It's your wealthy combo, because here we go. Let me just show you guys. First of all, it's now up to $727. That's $727. That is vastly more expensive than almost, well, all alt-arts except for Umbreon now. Okay, so here's Sun and Moon is just flying right by Sword and Shield, which, let's be honest, it should. Okay, Gengar and Mimikyu, here's another team up full art. There you go. What is this at? This is now $265. Gengar and Mimikyu GX, the regular one. Here we go. $199. Regular GX. Regular GX, $200. Moving along. Gengar EX Phantom Forces full art, okay, almost $400. It's $393. Gengar EX Phantom Forces, is that it? Do we have more Gengars? Nope, we have another Gengar. Mega Gengar EX, the secret rare from Phantom Forces, same thing, $251. Let's see, $225 up to, so it's up another $25 on the 30-day chart. That is it for the Gengars. Shaman EX, been talking about this for the last 3 weeks. It just keeps creeping up again. Went from 120 to 143. New all-time high again. New week, new all-time high. Lugia EX from Ancient Origins. Another full art, another nice banging mid-modern full art. We are only 1 year from $62 up to $100, and today it is $100. Okay, last card, and then we're doing the speed runs. Okay, so Darkrai EX. Very low volume card. I'm just letting it be known. If you own this card, even in moderately play, congratulations, you're rich now. This card is now $420, almost even. Go one more cent and we are at $420 on the dot. But that is from $160 up to, yeah, $420. Alright, Scarlet and Violet speedrun time. Let's get to it. Alright, SV speedrun and popular stuff speedrun time. I'm going to be very honest with you, it's a very busy weekend, a lot of card shows, a lot of events. So I'm going to show everything, but I'm basically doing the speedrun just to show you guys all the stuff really quick, but I'm not going to go out of my way to find. I don't anticipate that many hot cards in the SV era right now. So just because so many of you use this once a week and then go do stuff, yeah, I'm just going to show it all and we'll go real quick. Alright, here we go. Scarlet and Violet, base set. Gardevoir, $40. Ralts, $27. Drowsy is hanging on at $25. Everything else looks flat or slightly down. Moving along. Paldea. So like we said, Magikarp's up to 216. Raichu getting a little closer to 50, but those two never move. Everything else is really, really stable. Really, really solid. Yeah. Heracross still at 18. Tinkaton. This all. Baxcalibur's down to $13. Maybe scoop up some Baxcaliburs if you're at a card show this weekend. Alright, Obsidian Lanes. So 58 for Zardy Boy, 20, 15, 14. Gloom, $7.99. Get yourself a solid, perfectly looking Gloom at a card show this weekend for $8. How's Arvin doing? 323. Okay. Moving along. 151. 184 for No Neck. 60, 50, 40. Yeah. Straight across, straight across. Dragonair under $20. Consider buying a nice looking Dragonair IR for under $20. Are you kidding me? Alright, moving along. So yeah, we're doing quick speed run. Okay, so Groudon under $70 for Paradox Rift. Roaring Moon at $38. Definitely consider picking up a solid Roaring Moon for under $40 this weekend. Are you kidding me? Morpeko still at $18. Stuff is solid, just nothing ever spikes. Unless it's Groudon a year and a half ago. Well, that's not true. Altaria spiked, Garchomp spiked. Yeah, but for the most part, Paradox is very chill. Okay, here we go. The Fates of Paldea. Bubble Mew, $292. Okay. Pikachu under 30. Snorlax at 20. Let's look at the Ralts line. Ralts at 15. Kirlia at 12. Okay. Nothing is sticking out at all over here. Alright. Temporal. The forces of Temporal. 75. Raging Bolt. 50. Iron Crown. 40. Walking Wake. We're Gouging Fire down at 35. Iron Leaves at 26. That's crazy. You can get Iron Leaves for cheaper than ever right here and now if you're into that kind of thing. Iron Leaves at $27 is cheaper than it's ever been. Everything else, Metagross 16, Arbok 13, 10. Yeah. Yep. And Ghastly still at 36. Ghastly's been at 36-ish for about 3 straight weeks now. Alright, Twilight Gatorade, Twilight Masquerade, pardon me. Greninja, 274. Perrin always doing good. Okay, Eevee is absolutely still holding 50. Just barely holding on to $50. Keep going down here. Sui and Growlithe, 13. Dragapult Full Art, 10. Infernape, 10. Okay. Nothing sticking out. Alright, moving along. Alright, Shrouded Fable. So, Persian continues to fall closer and closer to $30. Houndoom continues to hold above $30. Okay. Basic Darkness Energy continues to creep up 50 cents per week. Basic Darkness Energy, $43 is an all-time high. $18 Phasandipity Full Art, $15 for the regular EX. That's about as good as it gets for the Phasandipitys. Okay, moving along. Stellar Not So Frown, $50 for a Squirtle. Bulba. Terapagos is about to follow Roaring Moon and be a mid $30 SIR. And I say that because Roaring Moon used to be the chase card. Terapagos used to be a chase card. Both those SIRs are about to be in the $30 range. There you go. Everything else looks boring, per usual. Stellar Crown. There you go. Surging Sparks, the most beat up set in the last 6 months by far. $286 for Backshot Pikachu. Gold Pika, not even $60 anymore. This is a card that was $200 for a weekend. The Laddie-ass EX. Full art is still $8, so that's good for that specific card right here. The regular EX is still $6, that's good. But yeah, Cerulege is now almost 15 bucks. Cerulege has had a rough month. On all fronts, Cerulege has had a rough month. Okay, moving along. Prismatic, again, still bleeding. Still bleeding. 176 for the Shinji Kanda. 111 for Cerulege, my worst purchase ever. Okay, Sylveon's still falling. Sylveon's about to be under 400. Master Ball. The Umbreon Master Ball stabilized in the $80 to $90 range for over a month straight now. So for anyone on planet Earth out there that actually likes this Umbreon Master Ball, I'm just saying it's been very stable in this $80 range right here for a while. The rest nobody cares about. Moving along. Alright, so Journey Together. All the way down, we are $100 now off of Lily's. Clefairy's high is $130. Yikers. I just want to point this out that 2 weeks ago, for those of you that watched 2 weeks ago when both the Journey Together Reshiram's got pumped from 12 to 24 bucks, I genuinely said this card's about to fall right back down to 14. I'm just throwing that out there. There it is, 14 bucks. Only took me 2 weeks to be right. The other one's actually doing very good. The regular IR is at 22 bucks. Wailord at 14, Articuno at 18, okay. All this other stuff, I'm about to buy a couple of these. I'm about to buy Enzoroark and Hop Station here probably soon. These are the last, well, yeah, they have fallen quite enough. I feel very comfortable buying both of those. And I already own Clefairy and Salamence. Alright, moving along. Alright, here we go. Destined Rivals, so we already talked about Mewtwo going up. There it is, 402 bucks. I wanted to look at, where are you at? Nidoking is back under 100. It got up to 105. But yeah, there's that. Cynthia's Garchomp. Let's take a look at Cynthia's Garchomp real quick. Holy moly, Cynthia's Garchomp is from a low of 190 up to 224. So Cynthia's Garchomp, I should have put at the beginning of the video with Giovanni's Mewtwo. Big gains for Cynthia's Garchomp along with Giovanni. I keep saying Giovanni's Mewtwo. Team Rocket's Mewtwo. I'm sorry. Alright, Psyduck straight across. Lapras straight across. Team Rocket's Meowth down a little. All the rest of this. I do want to look at these pre-release promos real quick. Loads. Alright, so Missy's Gyarados still at 10 bucks, pretty much where it was. Team Rocket's Tyranitar is all the way down to 10 bucks. That fell down. Typhlosion down to 14 from a high of 25. Team Rocket's Mimikyu still 13. Alright, moving along. Or not still 13. Look at this. Team Rocket's Mimikyu went way up and way down. I was just going to say, hold on. Team Rocket's Mimikyu is a pre-release building battle. Look at this. 26 and now it's down to 13. So big time pump and dump on the building battles. That's not very shocking at all. Alright, moving along. Crown Zenith. So we are just barely at 150 for Giratina. Mewtwo, as I said, bounced up to 107. Arceus 89. Origin Form Dialga and Palkia. These two, do not be surprised if these two fall all the way down to $40. I am not kidding. If this Dialga and this Palkia are 40 something dollar card here in a month or two, don't be worried. They've been very cheap before. And I'm just saying that because Dialga's down like 10 bucks, same with Palkia. There you go. Leafeon 42, 36, all this looks pretty typical, nothing too crazy down here. Alright, moving along. Trainer galleries. Starmie 80, Quasar, this all looks typical. Typical. Mimikyu VMAX at 30 bucks, that's a solid buy. I would definitely consider buying Mimikyu VMAX this weekend for $30, find a really good one. Probably Pikachu V at $40 also. I see these two as pretty solid buys. Because these have been, I don't know, that's just my opinion. Okay, looking at the rest of this. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much there. But yeah, Mimikyu VMAX, $30 seems very solid in my opinion. Alright, moving along. Alt arts. So we have under 1,500 for Moonbryon, under 400 for Leafeon, under 700 for Rayquaza, under 600 for Gengar, under 300 for Espeon, under 300 for Sylveon. Yeah. Not the summer for alt arts, it's the summer for all kinds of other cool alternate things. Yeah. Alright, so the V's. Let's see here. Giratina, I'm about to be under 500 for Giratina. All the rest of this stuff, you know, it looks pretty solid. Yeah. Nothing crazy going on here. Okay, moving along. What the? Moving along. Here it is. Promos. Pokemon Center exclusive promos. We got Squirtle at 156. That's down pretty far. I did notice that the Pikachu Paldea ETB promo is down to 75. That's pretty significant. Obsidian Flames Charmander down under 100. That's pretty significant. Snorlax's all-time high is almost $200, so Snorlax is $70 off its all-time high. Right there. I will say Wobbuffet at $60 seems to be doing very well. Right around the same is the Prismatic one. There you go. Any super cheapies? Petrant down to almost $14, Ogerpon down to $17. You find any of these cheapies that look perfect, that's my current stance on these. These are great buying opportunities at the current market values, if only if you find them in definitely shot at a 10. Other than that, right now I'd say too speculative. If you want a raw copy, just wait, but if you find a perfect one, I would say buy it. Okay, and moving along. So regular promos. Trying to remember. Greninja's up $3, back up to 33. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, moving along. Sword and Shield promos. We already talked about Greninja. Yes, we did. $26. We already talked about Galarian Moltres. $7. We already talked about this Pikachu at $40. Everything else looks pretty typical. Zardy boys. Straight across. Sun and Moon and X and Y, and then we are done. Ooh, yeah. I'm excited. I need to go to bed. What was I going to show you guys? Oh, it was Eevee and Snorlax at $91. Basically, it's all-time high. And then Garchomp and Giratina at $88. I'm not going to lie, I actually checked out the promos earlier, which is why I already knew about these two. But yeah, so all-time high, 88. Garchomp, Giratina right there. And Eevee and Snorlax right there, SM169. Pikachu EX, let me just take a look at this one real quick. We're going to end on checking on you. Because this sealed product, this box is like $1,000 now. So, yeah, it's at an all-time high. 176, Pikachu X. Okay, I am done. And I'm going to announce the channel member giveaway in just a second. Alright, thank you very much. If you made it this far, let me know if you have ever been to a card show and which one is your favorite, or if you've never been to a card show. I just figured there's a lot of card shows this weekend, tons of card shows this weekend. And for you, the winner I am about to announce, channel member winner, definitely hit up my business email or IG to claim your prize. Alright, I will see you guys next week. Deuces!
Ladies and gentlemen, this Pikachu's life hangs literally in the balance. Only one of you taking this off my hands can make it so this Pikachu can fall safely to the table. Alexa, please choose a number between 2 and 32.
It's 19.
19? Shut up, Alexa! 19. Did we hear? Is she seriously still talking? Number 19. Brando. Congratulations, Brando.
Pixel Dream.